All right. We're all good to go here? We're all present? We don't hear Johnny. He hears us though. Oh, we can hear him now. Yes. It's also looping. It's echoing. Like...
Are you on YouTube too?
We were posting some of these episodes on YouTube. But we haven't posted like the last 4 or 5 weeks on YouTube.
Oh, you have
it sounds like your input is listening to your output's listening to your input. It's like listening to itself. It's echoing like in a loop.
Yeah, we just noticed that it wasn't getting as much attention on YouTube as they get on other platforms. So, we don't want to spread it too thin where, we have so many options that people are, we can't develop an actual
YouTube
base.
Is where I'm pretty good. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. It's harder because you have
now your Wi-Fi's going.
Videos, or you have to. I have, YouTube TV, whatever it's called. It's hard because you can't. It's a pain.
Okay.
Oh, did it? Hello?
Mine beeped. I want to get out of my AOL. I don't want to lose you guys. Hold on. Because I don't want to hear that. Because anytime I get an email, it's going to go beep, beep.
Yo, I haven't heard AOL in such a long time.
I know, it's so funny. I've had AOL. Actually, me and Ashley, can you see me?
Yes.
Oh, where am I?
Oh,
hold on. There I am. I had to get off for a second.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
It's still echoing.
That's like an effect that he uses. So he's got this really cool looping machine.
Don't worry, everybody in the chat. We're working on it here to get the sound good for you guys.
He can modify his voice from being like normal to like a robot to one of those like there you go.
Are you a DJ?
He's in everything. He's everything. He plays the drums. He plays the keyboard. He makes his own music. He decorated AF.
Yeah.
This is my friend that I was telling you about. You remember at your dinner? This is him.
Yes.
Yes, this is him.
Cool.
Yeah, he's great. He's super talented.
Does he do remixes? Because I've had a lot of DJs do remixes of my songs. Does he ever do remixing? I'll have to ask him.
Go ahead. The vibe that I've always gotten off Jonathan is he's not like interested. It's not that he's not interested. His main focus is like making music from scratch.
From scratch. Rather than, because some DJs, I've had a lot of DJs remix my songs in dance remixes, but they're actual DJs.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm so happy you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Really? Because I took some notes down like when I was listening to your music, and I felt that. I'm like, this is very poppy, but I can see that it belongs in other genres too. So yes, what is that one? Paint Me a Rainbow. I really like that one.
Rainbow. That I have like so many different versions, because the original version, and then Denny Tate, he did the remix. He did 2 different remixes, a meditation remix, and then I had DJ Michael D do another remix. I don't know if that one's out though, because I have several different DJs have done remixes.
Still delaying.
We hear you, but it's got the wub wub wub.
It's got the
stand by. We'll get it right.
This makes no sense.
Are you doing that on purpose, Jonathan?
No, I'm not. There's no effects on. Oh, you know what?
Fix on my face, yeah.
Yo, he's totally doing this on purpose.
You think so?
I think so. I think so. It'd be that way.
So how long do you guys usually go? About an hour?
Yeah, we usually go about an hour and 20 minutes. Like, we'll talk for the first half for about like 25 minutes, and then we'll stop for about five. Take 5.
Huh.
There we go.
Nope, still going.
He's still got the laggy lag.
Oh, Elise, open the door. TC, open the door. We're still... Open the door for Oreo.
All right. Hey, Amy.
Thank you, honey. She heard you come in and then... Yes.
Amy, just be careful because you're also breaking up now too. Like, are you close to your box?
I'm right in front of it. Let me see if I can... Oh.
No, your internet connection, like your Wi-Fi router.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
No, your voice is fine, but your internet is not. Like it's cutting you off.
Really?
Yeah. Are you?
On.
Oh, is your Wi-Fi router right there?
It is. It's right here. I have a thing. Let me check my. Hold on a second.
We are. Don't worry, Twitch. We're working on it.
I'm okay.
Hopefully.
Can you hear me?
We're gonna try to.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Sure.
Okay.
Try to make sure we can get this going soon.
I hope it's gonna be okay.
We have sound problems on both ends.
Right? I feel like we'll be okay. I feel like.
I mean, this even happens on national television because I've watched CNN and they're doing interviews and the whole person, everything goes out and.
Look, it's just poise. We can't let them see us sweat.
Yeah, that's right.
You guys can hear me now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds normal.
Oh my god. I figured out what because I have 2 accounts on here because I'm running my stream from one PC and I had the audio going through both, so that delay was like bouncing back probably. Oh, what a relief. So sorry about that.
Yeah, we win.
We win.
All right. All right. So what I'm gonna do is we'll start now. I'm going to play a small intro clip or intro bit. And then she wants to do the intro today, so she's gonna take off with the intro for the show, and she'll introduce you guys. She knows the cue, like she's done it a bunch of times. So, and then she'll go through a few housekeeping things, like social media stuff, and then we'll just keep talking until we don't want to talk anymore. So
yeah, definitely.
Usually how this works out.
I'm here.
And so I'm going to get my Audacity going. Let me get this going.
You guys hear that? I wasn't sure.
Yes,
we hear everything.
I heard the keyboard, right?
Okay, all right. All right, I'm not gonna just play things out.
Oh, don't worry about it. Let me. Actually, do me a favor. I wonder if I can do this. Hold on. Am I allowed to mute? I'm gonna mute you guys just for the moment. All right.
All right.
Except Victoria, because you need to talk.
Hey.
All right, here we go. And we're going hot in 3, 2, 1.
People like to get worked up about things, and that's just not our style. So, to save you guys a call to the authorities, take a listen to this. The opinions and ideas you hear are those of the hosts, their guests, and their callers, and not those of the companies, sponsors, or advertisers for this podcast. And with that said, enjoy the show.
If you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life. We're taking music to a whole new level tonight. Welcome to IceT and the Hippogriff. Today is Thursday, August 6, 2020, and it is 7:24 p.m. My name is Victoria Sorrentino, aka Do the Hippogriff, and with me, without fail, and on time every week, my co-host, Jesse Harriton, aka IceT Kirby. You guys can catch our recordings live on twitch.tv/IceTKirby every Thursday around 7 p.m., give or take a few minutes. You can find our audio releases every Tuesday on Anchor and other various podcast platforms, including Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play Music, and many, many, many more. You guys have the opportunity of a lifetime to be featured on the show. All you have to do is call, text, or leave a voice message for the show by dialing 802-432-8358. And if you just want to call and say, hey, what's up? I hope you're having a good week. You can do that. 802-432-8358 is your place to go. Keep in mind, call, data, and messaging rates may apply, so don't forget to check with your provider. Please follow, like, listen, share our show with any and everyone. It helps us create better content for the most important people here, you. Before we get started tonight, guys, before I introduce our special guests, I would like to take a moment and bring to your attention a cause that needs your help. For those of you that are familiar with UCF, you probably remember our colleague, Cameron Yeager, has found himself recently in a really terrible situation. His best friend, an Australian Shepherd named Gizmo, has just found out that he has a slight tumor in the back of his nose. Such a terrible time for things like this to be happening, but we're here to support our marching knights and UCF alumni in any way that we possibly can. So if you can help Cameron, help Gizmo fight this nasal tumor, please, 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 you're going to go on to GoFundMe and you're going to search up Gizmo. Help Gizmo Fight a Nasal Tumor by Cameron Yeager. And the link to that is on our Instagram, and I will share it at the end of the show, but bit.ly/Gizmo Cancer Fight. Anything and everything will help Gizmo live a better life. And thank you so much in advance for your support.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Wait, so Colin, like UCF Colin, and is it, you said his brother or his?
Yes, his brother Cameron.
And his dog has a tumor in the back of his nose?
Yes, Gizmo is an Australian Shepherd. He's 10 years old.
Sad.
It is so sad because, look at all those pictures that Cameron posts of Gizmo, and Gizmo has this smile from ear to ear, and he's got these beautiful blue eyes that just, my goodness, it's like he's looking into your soul, and we've all been in really sticky situations, and we don't want cancer to be the reason that Cameron has to say goodbye to Gizmo right now.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's so sad. I hate
Yeah.
when doggos get human-like problems. I know it's not just a human thing, but like it's sad when they get those kind of conditions. And so yeah, like Victoria said, if you can help out Gizmo, please go help out Gizmo, because Gizmo needs your help, and it would be awesome if we can get his GoFundMe to be funded and he can get the treatment he needs to get rid of that, because I cried. It's gonna sound horrible, but I cried probably over a death. The most I've cried was for my dog.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
like I and I mean, that was years ago, but I mean, that was rough. And that wasn't even like a condition kind of. That was just, old. My dog got old, and it was his time. But I cried real hard about that. But anyway,
I mean, they're your family.
Yeah. So anything to save the pupper would be most appreciated, I'm sure.
Absolutely. To date, actually, Cameron has about 50% of his GoFundMe for these treatments already funded. So, we're halfway there, guys. This is probably the best news Cameron has had in weeks about this dog. So really, $1, $5, 10, 3, anything to help Gizmo live a better life. But Jesse, that's enough. That's enough for me. Let's talk to you. How you been? Happy Thursday.
Yeah, school. I know we're not diving in as fast as usual, and that's okay. But school has made me tired once again because we are back to pre-planning, and we are planning something that we don't even know what to do. Let's be real. This was our topic, by the way. Last week we talked about going back to school during COVID, and literally the catchphrase of the planning period so far this week has been, I don't know. Hey, how should we plan our online classes? The principal says, I don't know. Oh, how should we get the students from music class online to the homeroom teacher's class online? I don't know. It's like literally like it's going to be scary. And then on top of that, there's students that are going to be going face to face also. So it's like, so I'm doing hybrid because I do music. I'm doing kids in my classroom and then kids online at the same time. So it's going to be the most fun I've ever had teaching so far. But anyway, Victoria, let's who are these people? who is on our Zoom call that we are just sitting here looking at them, and I'm sure everyone in the chat wants to know. So let's get to that. Victoria, who are we looking at the beautiful faces of right now?
Oh my goodness. Well, this beautiful, beautiful curly-haired woman, not me actually, but the other beautiful curly-haired woman you are looking at is my good friend, Amy Barbera. And Amy is a singer. She is a songwriter. She's what I like to call an ace of spades. She's beautiful, she's talented, she works that camera, and she's just such a giving and a wonderful human being that when it came to picking the topic, like my first person was Amy. I think Amy's got a really great musical journey to share with us.
All right. Welcome to the show, Amy. I'm going to give you a round of applause here. There we go. It sounds like people in here. And then we have another gentleman in another box. He actually has 2 boxes of his own right now. One's an empty box, but one's a box with a person in it. Care to share who is in this other box? Who's in the?
So, yeah, the other our other special guest tonight is another good friend of mine. We've known each other since middle school, and I am super excited to have him here. This is my friend Jonathan. Jonathan is I would say an all-around musician. He's well-rounded in a variety of instruments and in just a number of genres, and I think that he's one of the most creative ones that I know.
I appreciate that.
Well, I already enjoy the fact that he has a Charmander on one side and then Banjo Kazooie in the other. So I'm about that. That's already won my and the Baby Yoda shirt on top of that with a drum set.
That's cute.
That's pretty dang cool. So
cool, man. I'm glad to be on here. It's exciting. I just started streaming this week on Twitch, so it's exciting stuff.
Yeah. Right. So let me start off with a question. I'm gonna start with Amy because Amy was here first, I think. So I'm gonna give her the floor, and I'm gonna ask a very, very simple question, or maybe not. I don't know if it's simple or not for you, but can you tell us how you came to be in the music world? How did you get to where you are now, and what kind of stuff have you done?
Wow.
And then please tell us in 3 paragraphs and cite your sources.
Well, I actually, since I was little, I loved to sing. I grew up in Hagerstown, Maryland, and so I didn't really I knew it was a passion, but it wasn't anything that I would, pursue as a career at that time. I did a little musical theater and stuff in college, but I went through the eating disorder anorexia when I was in my teens and early 20s, and I went through a healing journey of counseling. And it was through that journey that I wanted to pursue my dreams, of course, with music and with fashion and art. So I moved to South Florida by
Oh.
myself when I was 21 years old, and I went to the Art Institute of Fort Lauderdale. But I was seeking, because I'm an inspirational music artist, so I was searching for God, and I
Mm-hmm.
started to go to this church, and immediately they put me up as a worship leader, a lead singer, and that's kind of where my journey with professional singing. And then I started training with different teachers. I actually had vocal cord surgery before actually I moved to Florida too. I had
Oh,
nodules
wow.
on my vocal cords,
Oh,
and it
Okay.
was almost like my destiny was. And I had surgery when I was like 19, 20 before I moved, not knowing that it would be my calling. So when I started leading worship, I would get up every week and do solos, but my voice, because I wasn't trained, and it was through
Mm-hmm.
that journey that I was encouraged to write songs. Norma Mendoza was one of my voice teachers who encouraged me to create an album, my first album, and she's been with me on my journey. I think she's in her 80s now, and she's amazing. And I had Gil Magno in Miami. He's passed away, but it started. My first song was in 1998. It was called Flowers in My Garden, and then I released my first album, which I have here, in 2008. And my second album I released in 2015, and I have like 40 songs between the albums and then singles. And I, you know, I I just stick with the direction of inspirational, although a lot of my music is mainstream and pop, but with always like an inspiring tone. And I have
Okay.
hundreds of stories I could share, like I've shared with Victoria, but that's kind of like the basics. But I just won a couple awards just recently this year, 2019 into 2020. My "Make Me a Butterfly" music video, um, I sent to different festivals, music and film festivals on Film Freeway,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and it was just something different to do because, like, as music artists, you have to find other avenues to get your music out there. And I decided to submit my music video, and I ended up winning two festivals. My song, the Global Music Awards, that won a bronze medal winner 2019,
Oh, wow.
Spotlight Film Festival in Georgia. And then the French Riviera Film Festival in Cannes, France picked me as a semifinalist. And the International Christian Film and Music Festival picked me as an official selection. And then I was just nominated for Artist of the Year for the International Christian Film Festival for 2020. I was one of 10 nominated. I did not get the final, you know, win. And the event was actually virtual. It was supposed to be a big event in Orlando, but because of COVID, they canceled. But I was just happy to be nominated. And that was just on June 6th. So I tell
That
artists, try to go in another avenue to get your music heard, because it doesn't necessarily always have to be where they hear it on a radio. You can submit a video. And I think video is important because it opens up a whole new avenue for music artists. So
that's
that's,
incredible. That's
yeah. And
that's
that it was,
quite the adventure.
isn't that crazy?
Yeah. No, that's really
It's
great.
amazing.
And let me say this before we ask a bunch. That's basically what we're doing today. We're gonna ask a bunch of questions. We're gonna learn a lot about you guys. We want you guys to get a platform. But you mentioned platforms. We want this show to be a way for you to network or get your music and your art out there. But I was gonna say, Johnny, on the other screen here, if you have, I want this to feel as open as as open as can be. If Johnny, if you have a question you want to ask Amy, just to get to the two of you mingling and learning about each other and exchanging your ideas, I'm going to take a seat and cross my legs and listen, because I think it would be super interesting to hear your guys's you guys share your takes on how you guys do things, and it's cool because
Yes.
we have like two different worlds, right? We have your world, a vocalist world, and you're traveling to these places and you're getting these awards, and then we have the other world of more digital music, right? We have the turntables, we have Twitch. This guy Johnny just said he streams on Twitch. Everybody, are you listening? Everyone on Twitch, he streams on Twitch. So like, it's cool to see different sides of that rainbow of music, the different colors and the different ways it can happen. So I just wanted to say that. Sorry. But anyway.
No, I agree. I agree. I've always found that.
Yeah, and I have a song, "Paint Me a Rainbow."
No, it's really good music, and like I've noticed with some of Amy's music too. I was listening to the what we were talking about before. I think it was "Paint Me a Rainbow," where it felt like it had like a dance club vibe to it. So
Mhm.
I've always appreciated that. Any genre of music can kind of be manipulated into another form, and it's enjoyed the same exact way. The delivery is a little different, and it reaches more people, but the message is still the same, which is great. So, uh,
Yeah.
no, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what else it is that you're working on. So, Amy, I know that you said that you're like an inspirational Christian singer. So, when you're writing your music and you're preparing to like go on a tour, like how do you make those arrangements? How do you set up your tours? And like, do you have like a specific audience that you perform for mostly? Like, is it mostly just at churches or?
Well, the thing with me is I work with a lot of events that had me come sing because of the type of music I do. Like there was a woman named Kimberly West. She used to have these events called Allow Your Spirit to Soar, and they would have like maybe 300, 400, 500 people, and she'd say, "Hey, can you come sing like two or three of your original songs?" So that's kind of the direction that as an artist that I'm going.
Mhm.
I've sang at church. I used to be a worship leader, but I get more events like that inviting me to sing. um, you know and that's kind of the direction. As far as the way that I plan things, I just kind of let God guide me. I mean, as far as songs, it could be where, as I was telling you at Ashley's party, like it could be where somebody sends me music and then I write on top of the music, or God will give me a melody and lyric.
Oh,
And
we're losing Amy. Oh no.
One
We'll have to
of
tell
my
her.
producers,
Oh, Amy, we're
Oh
losing
man.
you.
or
Amy.
each song is. Can you hear
Wait.
me?
Yeah, you might have to
Can
repeat
you hear
about the
me?
last. You might have to repeat the last 30 seconds of that. You disappeared and turned into a
We lo-
robot.
Oh, I did. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was saying. Can you hear me now?
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was saying that I don't really like believe in trends. I believe that you should be like, if I feel like writing like a dance inspirational song, I'll do it. If and I have a song, a 1940s nostalgic song that my Sweet Pea that's coming out, which is totally out of my genre. And the
Mhm.
lady Kiss Kitty's like, "You're so cool to work with because most artists won't step out of the box." And then, of course, then I'll do the beautiful ballads. And so I love to kind of go out of the box. And I don't look at like musical trends and say, "Oh, I have to do that trend." I'd rather just stick with who I am. And then what I want to do, what I feel, rather than try to do what I think is a trend. Does that make sense?
Right. Because if you the trends are going to fade.
They're
Trends
gonna
are
fade.
they're not here to stay, and I think that's what separates a lot of musicians from those other calibers, because I don't think making music or going into it should be something where people are, oh, I'm determined to make it, because you lose your originality, just like you said,
Use your. Mhm.
when
Well,
you make I'm sorry, when you maintain your identity, like when you maintain like who it is you want to be and what it is you want out of it, it takes on a life of its own. It pretty much like the work does itself for you because you see
yeah.
yourself.
Well, my favorite all-time artist is Prince. I'm like a
Ugh.
huge Prince fanatic. My fiance is too, and he's been my biggest inspiration. And he's way original,
Oh
and
yeah.
he's a genius musician. So he never cared what was trends. He did his thing, and it worked. And of course, he was a genius at what he did. So I don't really see too many music artists in today's music. I'm an '80s girl. I grew up in the '80s, so I just don't really, the music today isn't, just doesn't have that. And I want to see like another Prince or another just originality, I guess. And now it's like, to me it sounds all the same. And
Mhm.
it just, the originality, I like very creative, like Bjork. I know like she's not inspirational, but she's so, like, when you hear Bjork, that's Bjork, and when you hear Prince, that's Prince. And they have their own style and their own feeling, and they're true the heart.
We're losing her again.
Amy, we're losing you.
You know.
Sounded like a robot.
Johnny comes in with the robot voice.
He's hacking
Is it
into
better?
her screen.
Is it back? It's weird because my thing is on. I don't know why. Oh, yeah, it's saying it's okay. I don't know why it's doing that.
I guess this is happening in
Can you
waves.
hear me now?
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Sort of. It's probably. It might just be your
Hello?
internet. It might just be your internet speed. Ebbing and flowing. Like.
Yeah, I wonder.
Oh, we
I
don't
don't
want
know
to
what
lose you.
to do. Can you hear? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
I can hear you. Jesse, can you hear her?
I can hear her now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Johnny probably hears you too. Hello.
Coming in.
Hello. Sorry about that. I don't know what.
Oh,
It's all right.
hello.
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 Now was that him? Is he going?
Oh, geez, what's
Does
going on?
Amy have good? Amy, do you have good phone data or the good phone service?
You mean from? Well, I'm not on the phone. I'm on my regular laptop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but,
I don't.
do you happen to have like 4G or 5G?
You know, on my phone. Well, my phone's pretty old.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. I was saying I figured if you had maybe an iPhone, you can get Zoom on the iPhone, and then try it from there. Because it sounds like it says your bandwidth is low, which means your internet isn't letting a lot of traffic go through fast or easily. Is anyone in the house using Netflix? Because that could do it too.
Yeah, I wonder
If someone's
why
on
that-
Netflix.
Oh, it might be It might be TC. My
time for him-
fiance.
Time for him to join us.
He might be
That could
using
be it.
Netflix. He always. Oh no! What is this? He watches a lot of Netflix series. I bet you that's what it is.
That might be what it is. That might be where we're
That's probably what it
hiccuping.
is.
Well, he
He's
might have to
addicted to-
stop.
Should I tell him?
Tell him he needs to take a break.
TC, come here. I'm telling him to come. And he does have Netflix, and our cable company is the same with our internet company. They're together. Can you?
I've been getting that
TC.
business too. Johnny, this could be your next
Johnny, are
song.
you watching
Internet
Netflix?
connection.
There you go.
Oh, because we thought
Start
you
the
were
loop off.
second connection if you are.
ID channel.
Oh, he's watching the ID channel. I thought he was on Netflix.
Oh.
I don't know why it's doing that then. Because normally he watches a lot of Netflix series. Is it still bad?
It's
Hello?
a little better now.
Yeah, you're a little better now.
Let me get a little closer. Hello?
Well, no,
Hello.
it's not. You're fine where you're sitting. It's the laptop being. Is it close to the internet router where the Wi-Fi comes out, or is it far? Like, is it downstairs or something?
No, yeah, the router is out in the living room where TC's watching TV. I'm in the bedroom.
Oh, see, that's why. If you need to get closer to the router where the Wi-Fi is for it to connect better.
Yeah, I had to come in here because he's out there watching TV.
Oh,
So I said, well, I'll do
okay.
the interview in here. I didn't
Gotcha.
realize. Sorry about
That
that.
explains it. It's okay. How about we flip flop, because maybe if we lessen the amount of answer time per person, there's less of a chance for the internet to go bad when you're answering. Haha.
Yes.
I feel like I'm that meme who's pointing at his head.
I had a thought.
So how about this, Johnny? What's going on in your life, man? What have you what drew you to the turntables?
So yeah, so my setup here, I used a couple different instruments, no turntables. I don't
know. I don't even know what I saw.
Okay, it's okay. No, I used to DJ. I used to have the CDJs. I used to, do house music, EDM, and fast forward a couple years, kind of started, getting busy with work, and now I'm kind of with the COVID thing. I had a little more time on my hands to start doing my own thing. So I have two keyboards here. I have an analog digital synthesizer, MIDI keyboard, loop station, and a drum machine here.
Oh
So
wow.
that's pretty
Is
much
the
what I
drum
use.
machine? Is the drum machine the what's the? I don't even know which one is which, but it's the one where it's like it's literally just like a panel and it has a bunch of like light up keys or buttons.
So I have two types of drum machines. I have this one which I can hit with drumsticks on my left, where banjo and kazoo are chilling.
Gotcha.
And then I got the one over here where I kind of
that one. What's that? Is that just called a drum? A drum? Would you say a drum? What?
It's like a MIDI pad, so I got like different sounds here, all linked together through I have a software here called Mainstage. That's where I get all my instruments, all my sounds. I pretty much can have any sounds, and then I have certain plugins that I put into that to kind of modulate the sounds, get different characteristics of keyboards or
right
piano, basses, and that, and so that's pretty much how I'm doing it. I probably just started doing this in March. Kind of self-taught myself how to play piano.
Oh wow.
I've been playing drums for 16, 17 years. I started with Victoria back in middle school. We were in band. We both played trumpet.
Nice.
So that's how I started off. I was always curious in the drums. Back then, nobody would let me play the drum set. So I kind of would go home and just beat on things, and then eventually taught myself drums also. Got my first drum kit when I was 15. And ever since then, I've just been playing and been in a couple of different bands over the years. But I figured out the easiest way to do it is really on my own, because I don't have to rely on getting a group together. Everyone's schedules are different, and now as you get older, everyone has either more busy. I feel like my last band I was in, one guy's married and a kid, the other guy moving. So it's like it's everyone. It's hard to keep a band together, but with enough dedication and time, you can definitely just knock it out yourself. So that's what I've been doing, kind of just coming up with my own sound, my own loops, my own jams.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so, I kind of just.
No, I was just saying, it's just cool how I've because of the show that we're doing right now, I've kind of dipped my toe into the audio engineering world, which is basically what you're doing. You're messing with microphones and audio, mixing boards or soundboards and software, audio editing software. And so I like with the show, I record on, I use the easy stuff. I used to use Audacity, which I know is like open source, whatever. But I record the show on there. I go through and I edit some stuff. If there's anything I want to take out or if it, awkward moments or something, I can cut some stuff out or slice some stuff out. Yeah. And it's just cool because I did this literally because of COVID-19. Like I got quarantined and I was in my house and I was like, what can I do? Like what kind of hobby can I try?
No, it's good. It's pushed me in a way that it was kind of a bad thing, turned out to be a really good thing, because now I'm doing something I kind of pushed off for a long time, and I think a little too long, but I guess better late than never. And I'm really happy that I'm just out here and just doing it, even if I'm just doing it for practice. I'll stream it if people want to come and hang out. Cool. And yeah,
that's awesome.
It's just beginning. This is just the beginning, and guys. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm happy to have you here. So when it comes to like making these loops and like making these beats, like 'cause, sometimes we'll hang out and you're just making them. You're just making them and going and going and going. When you're doing something from scratch, like do you make all your songs like that, or do you just kind
Yeah.
of find yourself like outside sometimes just going, that would sound really
Um.
cool?
Yeah. So it's kind of both ways. When I go to make something, I clear my head. I don't really come in. Sometimes I'll it's kind of weird, but I get my most inspiration when I take a shower, and then I'll hear something. I don't know why. Something about the water running is soothing, and my mind's like relaxed. And I'll run from the shower. I'll come here and I'll lay it out. That's only sometimes, but usually, when I'm not always showering all day, I'll just come in here and I'll just kind of mess around with the keys. I'll mess around with some beats until I find something that I like, something that, I'm like, okay, let's see where we can go from here and kind of build on it. And sometimes I get a really cool loop or cool song and I'll keep it. Other times, you can't always get them all good, and I'm like, all right, scratch it. On to the next, because if you're holding too long onto one thing and it's dragging and you don't see it going anywhere, and I feel like I'm wasting my time with this. Like, I feel like it's just like, okay, just scratch that idea, start a new one, and a new one will boost a new idea or something like that.
Oh, of course.
Amy, how do you handle that kind of situation? If you have an idea, like, do you dwell on an idea until it comes out, or do you kind of do the dismissive thing where you're like, I'll let that one go and move on to the next?
Most of my music is God inspired. I actually, years ago, I used to sing for a lot of handicapped children, and I wrote a song called God's Special Angel. And so I was going to fly to Chicago to Misericordia Children's Home. So most of my music is God inspired. And when I get an idea, it's like, I just go with it. I mean, there are songs that I actually have sitting there that have never been released yet. But everything for me is about a heart thing. And I just,
We almost did it. We almost got
it. Okay.
It comes like my song "Make Me a Butterfly," the video I told you about that won a lot of awards. I wrote that. Am I out? Hello?
You went out for like a good, for like 5 seconds or so. It was right after you said.
Oh no! Well, I was saying that like I was at a job, and when I wrote "Make Me a Butterfly," and I didn't have anything to do, and the song just came to me. It was like melody, lyrics. I went to producer Jim Wallman, who I was working with at the time, and sang it. And then he's recently, because you were talking about the dog, I was telling Victoria this. I have a dog, Oria, that is my heart. I love her. And God gave me a song called No Words, A Dog's Love that I'm working on right now. And I know that song will touch a lot of people because they'll be able to relate. And the song is really about how you wonder what they're thinking. You wonder what they would say if they could speak human words. And like you look at your dog or your animal and you think, I wonder what they think or how they see the world. And that's what my song is about. So I'm all about heart, inspiration, and usually something has to like singing for the handicapped children. That song was inspired. Make Me a Butterfly was inspired by my own journey of healing, and then people that people with cancer that I'm friends with and things. So for me, that's how a song comes.
Okay, all right. See, like this is why I'm excited about this, because you can get both, different sides of the music. You know what I mean? That's so cool to hear both.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's definitely cool.
We're all driven by like different things and different causes. So like Amy, you're driven by God. Like for you, this is like your calling. God put me on this earth.
Yeah, it's like a calling.
Exactly. And I mean it's not
my necklace.
It's a real thing.
Yep.
It's a really real thing. And like I see that Johnny also he plays the handpan, which is a really amazing instrument. Hey, Johnny, how many
bring it out in a bit. Well, I've had countless, so probably 10 in my lifetime.
But right now, how many you have?
2, and I have 1 more I'm trying to sell. I'm just gonna keep 1.
Oh, how much are you selling it for? Because I actually want a handpan. I know they're expensive though.
Yeah, the one I got is from Italy. I paid 3,200 euros for it.
Oh wow, I want one.
I'll sell it for less, for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, probably around 3,000 with shipping.
Wow, is it one of the big ones, like the big?
If you want to wait a second, I'll show you.
Oh, show us.
My friend Laurel, I guess when she went somewhere where they had handpans, she bought a really small one and she was playing it, and I was like, oh, I want one of those, but I probably, of course, because they're so expensive. But they have that I love. Like I'm working on my song Jesus Set Me Free to Fly, and we're using the Native American pan flute sound in it. I love ethnic instrumentation in music.
Yes.
And having people that I work with, use different instrumentation, and so I love that.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's a great instrument, period. Like he introduced this instrument to me and I'm like, I have no idea what this even is, but okay. And he plays it so fluidly. Like the way he plays it, it's like breathing for him, and like you said, as
Oh
far as it
yeah,
like being as far as it being like a
he
cultural
has a big
instrument.
one.
Oh yeah. Is he back? Can you see him? Because I can't see him yet.
I see it. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, he has
that's
it on
like
his
a
lap.
big one. Laurel, she had like a tiny, tiny one.
Oh
Mm-mm.
wow.
This cat. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yes. I can't hear him playing. I don't know if you hear him right now, but
He muted it. He did it. I think he muted
okay.
it on purpose.
Yeah,
No,
see?
I
That's that's a
can't hear.
professional. That's a professional musician right there, guys.
That's
Yeah, he's
awesome. There we
yeah, I
go.
love that.
That's super cool.
I love it.
I can like sit here and listen to that for a
How
long
did you
time.
learn to play?
So that's the one I have for sale. It's self-taught. I kind of just teach myself everything. But I've been a drummer for a long time, so it just came naturally. I got my
Yeah.
first one in 2016. I think I waited like 6 years for that one, and then within 2016 to now, I acquired 10. Go figure, right?
Wow. You had the
Wow.
little ones? Because my friend Laurel had a tiny one, like a little one.
Yeah, those are probably those are called tongue drums, I believe. I think you can use mallets with them. They have like little slits. I'm
Yeah,
not
they
I'm not
had the little sticks or something.
Yeah, those are different. Those are tongue drums, a little more available. They're made from recycled propane tanks, and people make them look really nice. And but these are a little more harder to get. You won't really find them in stores. It's more like a community-based thing. I've been to plenty of gatherings out in Asheville, Joshua Tree, um, and then in Colorado, I went out to I can't remember the name, somewhere in the mountains there. But yeah, I've been to a couple of gatherings, and it's just a very nice community of people, and that's where I pretty much,
Wow.
What for two questions. One, what is it made of? And then two,
Yeah.
What culture is it from?
Yeah, so it's not culture based. It's the original one was called a hong, and the hong.
Uh-oh.
Oh, now we lost him.
Yeah, now we lost you.
The
No,
shock.
I don't feel bad. I don't feel too bad.
We
Yeah,
can't. Oh,
Uh,
talk
uh,
again.
I'm waiting for the stream to come back. Yeah, I
Oh,
just got the internet unstable thing. Let me
well,
make
we
sure
hear
I'm
you
on the right
now.
one.
good to
Sometimes
know.
I have some weird extender here that actually is worse than the actual modem. I don't know why I have it. Sometimes it switches to the extender.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so yeah, original one made in Switzerland. It's not really cultural based. It was called a hong drum, and it was from these two makers out there, and pretty much they were the only ones making them, and you had to literally handwrite them a note and send it via pigeon courier. I'm just kidding.
I was like, wait.
Back in the day.
And
Wow.
they would read your letter, and if they felt like that you were the type of person that could benefit from one of these drums, they would invite you over to their shop, have a conversation. You'd probably stay with them for a night or two, and then you could buy one. But times have changed, and there's builders worldwide now. There's plenty out here in the US. I know pretty much all of them. So I mean, if this one doesn't work for you, I can definitely help you out with finding cheaper ones. This one has a lot of notes. This one's pretty advanced. Um, for a beginner or someone who's just starting, I would recommend like an 8 note around. This one has like 12 and then 6 on the bottom. So a little crazy. But yeah, I mean, there's more available now. They're easier to get. And I mean, the other ones are classics, but these the building techniques have gotten so much better, and there's so many. So back to your original question, about the material. So this one is on a nitrided steel. So they get a steel and then they nitride it, which is a heat treatment, and it helps stabilize the sound. I have another one over there, which is my favorite one. I just got that one a month ago. I swapped another one out.
Oh, wow.
This one came from Romania, and that one's made out of a special stainless steel, and they do a special finish on it. That has, they call it the dragon finish, and there's not many out there like that. And that one I'm never gonna sell. I said that about a couple of them, but let's see how long this one stays.
Now, have you recorded, like, if somebody would hire you to record that sound on a song? Have you done that before?
So I have a couple songs out there that I've done. Some on SoundCloud that I did a while back. I kind of regret not recording a couple songs, but every single one I've had, I would have had albums by now. I've done some sound healings. I used to, I have a friend of mine who runs a yoga studio around here, and about once every 2 months I'll go out there, do like sound healing sessions, and
oh wow,
just
that's cool,
perform and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean,
cool.
just a cool little side hobby of mine that I picked up, and I've come across a lot of hobbies. I know Victoria probably remembers I used to do glass blowing as well, so I used to make pendants, glass pendants, art and stuff.
That's cool.
Still have all the equipment. It's just Florida's so hot, and I have to set up in my garage. And besides being in a garage where it's humid and hot, I have a fire that's like 8 inches away from my face, so it's it's not too practical.
Oh, wow.
So I'm gonna make it a seasonal thing, where maybe in like December I'll set up my studio for 2 months, and I'll do some live streaming of me doing some glass blowing. I still have all the equipment, and maybe make a couple things. And
now, do you teach people how to play? You teach, like?
Yeah, I can teach. Everybody who has bought one of my hand pans, I told them, if you ever want me to teach you a couple lessons, some basics, I can definitely help you out with that. It's my pleasure.
Cool.
Yeah, I like to teach. Teaching is the learning experience. So
yeah.
Oh like yeah, that. For sure.
Now, do you know Karina Barris? Karina Barris, she goes by Karina Sky.
Does she live around here?
Yeah, like Miami, but she does a lot of new age type music, a lot of the healing, like you were talking about, and so she does a lot of. So I thought maybe you might know her.
Possible. We probably have mutual friends. I'm pretty big in the community.
Sure, yeah. I did a couple shows with her when I released my second album. We did a show, but she does a lot of stuff. She's pregnant with her second child now, so
Yay!
All right.
Yay!
Good for her.
Yay! So I wanna ask you, Johnny, about your handpan. So how many so what key is that handpan in?
This one's in D minor.
In D minor. So based on the key of the instrument, does that determine how many little heads are on the instrument?
Like a keyboard. There's octaves, so there's B flat 3 times. There's B flat 3 times in here. 4 times probably. I don't really know every single note. There's a lot of notes that repeat in different octaves. So it's in a D minor scale. I don't know exactly the mode because I'm not. When it comes to music theory, I understand it in my head, but I don't understand it on paper. So if someone starts talking to me in Phrygian scales and Ionian or whatever, I'm like, I don't know. I don't really know anything. But I get it in my head, and I understand what it is in my own way, not in a way that I can in a way that I can play with people. Like if I were to play with musicians, like I can jam with most musicians out there, but I wouldn't be able to tell them like play this progression. Like that wouldn't work out.
For sure. You're just true. Listen and you go.
Yeah, a very very audio. I don't know what it's called, but I can hear. I'm a very good listener for music.
You hear that, ladies?
Not for talking.
You hear that, ladies?
Oh man.
That's a rare one.
A very good listener.
Take notes, gentlemen.
For music.
Oh, he covered himself.
I zone everything else out. I'm just kidding.
If it is what it is, sir. It is what it is.
I'm gonna go put this one down.
Go for it. So, Amy, while Johnny's putting that away, so to date, like, what would you say is your favorite song that you've written or that you've performed? Like, which one would you say?
Well,
Forever and a
definitely
Day.
Make Me a Butterfly. That's kind of my signature song. That's the one that with the video that's winning awards. That's the one that been asked to sing the most. I mean, I have so many other songs, but that's kind of the song that really touches people. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can
Hello?
hear you.
You
Hello,
can
we
hear
hear
me?
you. We hear you.
Hello? Oh, you good?
Hi.
Because it was saying it was unstable. That the little thing came up, and people were touched by that song. I guess because they can relate. Because I'm talking about the transformation of what you're going through in the cocoon as to a butterfly. So a lot of people can relate to that.
Oh, of
And then there's
course.
certain songs like God's Special Angel that are specifically written for sick or handicapped children. And One Day is when somebody passes away. And Paint Me a Rainbow is kind of a fun dance song. Walking on the Stars is a fun dance song, but it's about, trying to, working towards your dreams. So each song has their own story and own feeling. And I can't wait for Sweet Pea because that one's 1940s nostalgic and it's an original. And it's actually a love song that I wrote for my fiance. And I'm singing in that Ella Fitzgerald style. And people are going to be shocked because they're like, "Is
Oh,
that you?" Because it's not normally my. But I had the best time working on that song, and it was pretty easy to record. And I worked with a boy like Genius. She was born with perfect pitch. She sat at her grand piano. I sang it. She's like, "Do-do-do-do-do." And she's in a professional band. She's from England, and
oh.
her drummer did the drums. And he's retired, and he believes in doing the old. We did it exactly how they would do it, like in the 40s. They didn't have all the equipment and everything, and we tried to keep it as close to that feeling and natural as and everything. And it was such an easy song to do, and I enjoyed that style. So
Absolutely. Yeah. And I noticed, songs from like, in that time period, they recorded everything in one room and it wasn't necessarily they were looking for, individual crisp and clear sounds. Like
Oh,
it was
excuse me.
just a really well blended sound, very soft spoken, kind of romantic, even if it wasn't a romantic song. So, and it's really funny because I see you doing that. I see that being like very
yeah, it was fun.
associative.
Well, I
Oh,
never sang in that style. So like Kiss Kitty's like, Amy, you gotta sing like you're like. And of course I don't drink at all. I've never been a drinker ever, even before I was a Christian. But you have to sing in that, different, because it's the nostalgic, Ella sound. And it was pretty easy and it was pretty fun to go out of
yeah.
my genre. And I have a music video that goes with the song that we shot. I have photos. And because of COVID, I was going to release it this year. When I release something, I like to do it the right way. I usually have, like, I've had 2 CD release parties, which Ashley's been to both of them.
Yeah.
And I want to do a small Sweet Pea release kind of with my engagement, and then do the release online. And so because of COVID, I've waited, and I'm kind of waiting because I don't like to just throw things out there. It's hard.
No,
It's hard
absolutely.
enough as an independent artist, and you have to kind of plan everything out because when you do it on your own, it's not easy. The promotion is where it's at. So
Of course. You have to put yourself out
a
there.
lot of
You
work.
gotta give everyone a reason to be like, "I want to see this." So
Yeah,
Promotions are most
what
difficult.
what I'm learning is, like, with the Make Me a Butterfly music video, I've been able to maintain it viewing of it because I share it, like, on birthdays. Like, I'll put it on somebody's birthday and I'll say, "Come soar with me on your birthday." You have to think outside of the box. You can't, like, in today's everything, like, now people, like, whatever it's called, like, their span, the way they look at things, they have a short, span when they hear something.
yeah,
Person is a song, and like 2 weeks later people forget about it. So you have to think of ways, creative ways, to keep it going even behind the scenes, where maybe you're not throwing it in people's face, but you're doing it in a different way.
no, absolutely.
Back in the 80s, where I grew up, you'd hear Prince on the radio and that song would be a hit for 2 years straight, and because that's all you had. And then MTV was just coming in. So now with the internet, so many people are putting out so much stuff, and it's just constantly. And you just have to be able to think of creative ways, and that's what I tell people
No,
to
absolutely.
keep it going. So that's why the Film Freeway thing came, because I had released that in 2018, and I said, well, how can I get this out here more? And then that's how it, you know, you think of ways to get it out there, and then it works, and it
No,
opens a whole
absolutely.
new door for music artists.
Absolutely. The world is such a large place. And, like where we are in Florida, it's like this is a melting pot of diversity for people, and they bring in their own culture and their own ideas. So imagine like what other musical influences they can bring to the table. So
Yeah.
when you put yourself out there for the Cannes Festival in France, have you noticed that like your fan base in these other countries are growing now?
Well, yeah, that was a weird thing because they had saw that I was picked for the International Christian, and they started following me on Instagram, and I said, "Well, I'll submit it to that."
Mhm.
They weren't part of the big Canes, because Canes is the larger, or Cannes, I don't know how they, can you hear me? Is
Yes.
the
Yeah, we hear you.
largest film festival in the world, all the big name A-lister, films and everything. So they're kind of like a smaller division of Cannes, and so I was shocked when they picked me as a semifinalist. They only picked three semifinalists. I can't remember. If you go on their site, you'll see Amy Barbera, Make Me a Butterfly. I wasn't able to go there. I wish I could. At that time, I was working. I take care of my mom now, but I was working another job, and they, to plan a trip like that, I wish I could have gone, because they did, and this is before COVID. So, but yeah, I mean, I
Uh-oh.
have fan base in England, because I've been on the internet. I've been doing this since MySpace. Like, this isn't something I've been
Wow.
on. I started on MySpace, and I have people from MySpace, like Janet Ann Wynn from England, and Darcy from California, and there's just, I can name so many people. And so, you start out there, and then of course MySpace. I'm still on MySpace. I keep my thing updated. It's still there, but
Wow.
then you just gradually work your way. And then my friend Jamie came along, and she said, you need to be on Facebook. So she kind of helped me, and then I did the Facebook, and then created a fan page, and then it went. The only one I'm not on right now is TikTok. I feel like it's just too overwhelming, to because I have like, I'm on like 15 to 20 different platforms, and it's, you gotta, it's like each one of them you have to promote a certain way, and
Oh
it
yeah.
could be a pain sometimes. You know what I mean? So,
You
I'm
need
on
a
Spotify.
team.
I'm on, yeah. Um, but I've been doing this for years, like since God. I met Ashley. She was at my first album release, which was in 2008. She was actually, and I had been working on that album for like 3 years before I even met her.
Oh, wow.
So it was like working with different producers, and I was doing a song and a song and a song. I think back then I was only on MySpace. And then and then Norma Mendoza, she's like, you need to do an album. And she had me do, like, during my voice lesson, she had me do like a vision board. And in that time, and she's amazing. Norma used to live here. I don't know if she still lives in Florida, but she inspired me to, and that's when I released my first album. So, and then I have songs that I've recorded and are sitting, that I've not released. I always think timing is perfect too, so I'm kind of
Hmm.
waiting. And releasing an album is a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So
Can you
it's
imagine?
because you got to think about the promotions of it. Yeah, it's a lot of work and money too. You think about your pain, and then you got to do the graphics. But now, of course, things have changed, because CDs really. I mean, I did still print CDs from Disc Makers for the Sweet Pea. I have two songs, my Sweet Pea, and I have my Sunshine, that I recorded years ago, never released. So you have that when you do live events, but things are changing, so you always have to be up to date.
Yeah, of course. But it's never a bad gig to, have some old school stuff saved up. You never know when you're gonna need it.
Yeah,
Truthfully.
I have everything. I have the physical CDs. I still love CDs, and uh, the what is it? The big records. I can't even think what they're called.
The
Have
vinyls.
The
have you done these?
vinyls. They've started to come back.
Yeah, they
You know,
have.
Oh,
I just love that nostalgic, I guess, feeling
mm.
and stuff. I wish they would come back, kind of, in a way.
It's
What
You
about
less
know,
is more.
like
what
What do
is
you
it?
want to
Wait,
bring back?
cassettes?
like the nostalgic, like I love all that. Like when I was a kid, you bought a CD and you like to look forward to the graphics.
Oh,
You
hell
know,
yeah. Hell
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, of course, everything's changing, and of course, all my music's digital, but it's just not the same.
No. No.
And I grew up in a. You guys are a little younger than me, so I grew up in the '80s when they had the best music, and the cool thing about the '80s is that they had so many different styles, and you'd have one radio station with like 20 different genres of music. You turn it on, and you'd have U2, and then you'd have Prince, and then you'd have The Cure, and then you'd have. It's just like, and there were so many cool bands, and then you'd have the hair bands, you like Motley Crue, and all those
Guns N'
bands. Yeah,
Roses.
Guns N' Roses, and you'd have Michael Jackson, of course, and Madonna. But Prince is my heart, and it was just so cool because and then you'd go to a school dance, and you'd actually have a love song where like I would go to the dances, and then you would have a love song, and
You can feel that with
you'd
somebody.
have it on the radio, and I just feel that I wish that would come back in a way where, the variety of music. I don't know if that kind of music will ever come back as far as hair bands. You don't see that too much. You know what I mean?
No,
They
not
don't
as
even
much.
have their real hair
Or like
anymore,
heavy
Amy.
metal.
Yeah.
I don't really like it, but I love the song Jump. Remember the song Jump?
Yes.
That was yes. And of
I
course
love that
Janet
song.
Jackson is really big. Then we did a lot. I used to be a
Him.
cheerleader, so we used to do, and like The Cure. I still love The Cure. TC and I, as a matter of fact, we always keep it up to date. Are they going to come into town? These bands are still doing really good, even though they're from the '80s. They're still touring the world. And
I would literally pay money and donate to something, I don't even know, to revive punk music and ska as like a genre that is on the radio. You know what I mean? Like, because it's just not like there's communities for it. But like
But
I want to turn on. I want to turn on like what is it here, like 96.9, not 96.9, whatever our rock station here is here in Orlando, and I want to hear like Goldfinger, or I want to hear like Real Big Fish on the but those are just not genres that like people not that many people listen to anymore. And some of my greatest concert experiences were at bands like that. Like I went to Streetlight Manifesto here in Orlando at the House of Blues, and people were doing the mosh pit and all that fun stuff. And it's like, that was so fun, and the music was fun. And it's like, wait, what was that?
I saw Revolution there in Orlando at the House of Blues.
Yeah,
Revolution.
so it's like I just wish that was music, like, because like you go downtown, and of course it's going to be the house stuff, the club stuff, hip hop stuff like that, which it's cool. I get it. Right, but like, I want to find the band, or not the band. I want to find the bar that plays like the punk or like the rock, and like it's still a party. It's just a different kind of party. It's not like the booty dancing kind of party.
Shake
but
your
it's more
ass
of like
and pray to God it bounces.
Yeah, it's not. You can still party and get crazy, but not.
You don't have to shake your ass about it for 45 minutes.
And it could like and not to get weird about it, but like you could still make it intimate, but it could be punk. You know what I mean? It could still be intimate. If you want it to go that direction, it could be that way. But it's just not. That's just not what people want now. People want that. The bass. The bass is really what drives everything, right? In most cases, in terms of dancing and intimacy and. But anyway.
I mean, I think it's just the delivery, though. It is, and it doesn't have to necessarily. It could be, elements of punk rock or ska, elements of that genre in other genres, and like that's what I've always found so cool about music, and like the type of music that Johnny's making and the type of music that I can hear in Amy's songs is you can blend that with other things. What is it? I think what did we say the name was before we started? The one that we had that club vibe to.
Paint Me a Rainbow.
Yes, Paint Me a Rainbow.
I've had many DJs remix at different styles.
The cover of that is ridiculous. Like, it belongs in the club. It's like all black. Like, I don't know if you've seen this. You can find Amy's music on Spotify, by the way. Amy Barbera, and it's all blue. Like black and blue, it's like faded off in the middle with this just distinct makeup on and just the shades. There's like 4 different colors
it's
going.
like rainbow on my face.
What is my first thought, it was a club song, and as soon as I heard that, I'm like, it's not with the but I hear it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that I think the original one, Ben did like more of a like just basic pop, but then I've had many dance remixes of it done. A
Really?
meditation remix. Denny did a like I can't even a retro house mix that's up. And then DJ Michael D did another mix. So it's fun
Super
because
cool.
they can take your music and they can do a different total mix.
Yeah, they give it
Right.
a whole new identity. So,
Whole new identity.
there we go. There we go. So yeah, I mean, Jesse, you got to just have a little hope. It's going to take someone as creative and open as Jonathan, but somebody as willing as Amy to, develop a new type of punk to listen to you. The delivery, it's all in the delivery, to be honest with you. It doesn't even have to be bass heavy, but it's got
Well,
to be a delivery that we can all, associate with.
one example I feel like that was close, it was in my ballpark of enjoyment, was Panic at the Disco's more recent hit, High Hopes or whatever.
Oh,
You know
that
that song?
song.
Yeah, I knew
Yeah.
that.
Get high hopes for the living. You know that one? Like,
Yeah.
that one's
Yeah.
pretty good. Like, that was pretty, and it's in that kind of punky kind of ska kind of, because it got horns and stuff. Like, that was fun. Like, I could jam to that. Like,
No comment.
no, okay, well,
No
You
comment.
liked it? Did she like
I
it?
enjoy it.
No comment.
But
I've never been a
Doesn't
big
like
fan
it.
of that music, but like you cannot knock Brandon Urie for what it is. Panic at the Disco was a band, just like Jonathan pointed out in the beginning. It was Brandon Urie and like 3 or 4 other dudes, and Brandon Urie stayed taking music seriously. Like he never lost sight of his dream and what he wanted out of it, which was, fame and happiness. The rest of the band decided they were going to go do drugs, they were going to party, and they just weren't taking music seriously anymore. And when you've invested so much of your life in that, you can't, it's a danger to your
Yeah.
livelihood to have people like that on your team. So, Brandon Urie said, thanks a lot for everything, guys, but I'm going to do this by myself. And this is like, he's a one-man band, just like the type of project Jonathan has going on. Johnny's been playing by himself for a really long time though. And just on the side, like, has just developed his own style and his own way of doing things that, in the same respect, like, if you want it done right, yeah, I'm talking about you right to your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talking about you. And you see, but like, and like, that's what I've always really admired that about Jonathan. Like, he takes the time to do it how he wants to do it. He does it right, and he doesn't stop doing it until he's created what he wants out of it.
Do
So
it
like
as right as
this,
I can.
what happened?
Do it as right as I think I can.
I mean, and it's
Right.
perfect, and it's great. Just like he even told you, like, this is a setup he just put together in March. He's been
Yeah.
playing his ham pans for like 5 years. He's been on the set for as long as he's been on the set. So just when you put a variety of instruments in your hands, or Amy, how you just have your voice and you just got multi-talent with the voice and having that vision of getting it done, you do create your own thing. It doesn't have to
Yeah.
be, derivative of something else. I mean, like, you can take the elements of these genres and apply them to what you're doing, but it's your spin on it that makes it so unique
Yeah.
and wants people to
Prince
listen.
used to do that a lot with how he does the different sounds. I don't know if you're familiar with Prince's music, but
Yes.
a lot of his songs he used to do. He would have like his voice became like he would do robotic voices, and he would be it just a lot of his song, even his stuff that it wasn't like mainstream.
Oh,
He did a
sorry.
lot of
I don't know
creative,
what this is.
all that
My bad.
stuff.
No, that's
I was messing
him.
with something.
That's his unique style. So this is an interesting question I have for both of you. So to date, you guys, what would you say it has been your biggest musical accomplishment?
That's a good
Oh
question.
wow.
I'll let you handle that one first.
Me? Well, I think my biggest musical accomplishment is touching people because, I mean, I have hundreds of stories. I shared a little bit at Ashley's house. I've had people use my music, if their child was sick, or I used to sing for a lot of special needs children. And I told you when I went to Chicago at Misericordia, and then the hospital called when I came home, and they said, every time we play God's Special Angel, and these are like severely sick children, like your song, it's the anointing, it was the anointing of God, like that they would try to move or they'd make noise. So for me, I'm so happy that I stuck with the type of music that God has, touched my heart to do, because in the end, really, it's about making a difference and touching people with a gift. And so, I mean, I've, gotten awards and been nominated for different things, but it's really about the impact that you have, and then your music. I've had people write, every time I hear this song, it reminds me, it got me through the death of my husband, or this song has helped me through when my child was sick. So like that is like the biggest accomplishment.
Oh yeah.
So that's what to me is about. That's what music is about. So
Touching people.
touching
Amy,
people.
you're an angel, Amy.
And
You have
relating to people, because a song doesn't necessarily have to be an inspirational. It could be a song out of your own pain, that maybe what you've been through, and then somebody else is hear it and they're like, that song could, like, oh my gosh, I feel the same way. So I like to write in that way too. A song that maybe this is how I'm feeling, and then someday somebody else is going to feel this way too.
Absolutely.
So that's all.
Yeah.
What about you? Yeah.
Connecting.
Uh-oh.
And I think that's why.
I guess we're gonna be talking like robots.
I think that's why Adele blew up so big. Adele.
Uh-huh.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Well,
yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
And then songs were about her pain with her breakup.
Yes.
And I think so many people related to that.
Absolutely.
So songs relating to other people.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think that's the biggest thing that I think that's what a lot of artists are struggling to do these days, is relate to people, because I kind of explain it as, you have Adele, Lizzo, and Ariana Grande. They're three very talented singers with like a wide range in their voice. All three of them choose to sing in their higher range for the most part. The messages are exactly the same. They are all singing about the same thing. The only difference is the delivery of it. Adele is very like poetic about it, and she's hurting, and Lizzo is, I'm gonna just shake my ass even though I'm hurting, but I'm free of you.
Play her flute. She
And
plays
then
her flute.
listen, she plays the way she plays that flute. I don't care what she does. Like, I saw a video with her in this white outfit with that flute just trilling and just bending over like like it was breathing. So the messages are the same, the delivery is the same, but it's what's most relatable, it sounds like right now, and I think something you're not really struggling with. You've identified who you are, what type of music you like to make, and who your target audience is, and you've impacted a community.
Yeah, that's the most important. Finding your target audience and kind of going with that. Who relates to you, and who, and then if you try different styles, it might bring in new types of people. But now, do you guys like Billie Eilish? Do you like her?
I haven't really listened much to her. Honestly.
Yeah, I don't really.
Because she won all the Grammys. The cool thing about Billie Eilish is I found out about her through my nephews, because is that her and her brother. I don't know if you've seen any interviews. They were in this little bedroom, like a tiny bedroom, with a little keyboard, and her album. She made this album in this little tiny home, her and her brother's room.
Yep.
No big studio, no big deal, and she blows up because I guess they put Ocean Eyes up. She blew up and they won everything, Grammys, everything. So it kind of give you, like, even though like we might not all like that style of music, it's an inspiration to show you don't have to like be signed to a major deal, and you don't have to be in this big massive studio. You could do an album right in your house. I mean, you should have seen the room. They had like a little bed, a little keyboard that her brother Phineas is her producer, and it just people, I guess teenagers related, because her songs kind of related to what they were feeling, I guess.
Right.
So,
I mean, if you relate.
But back in the day, when I grew up in the 80s, you had to have they had major record deals like Warner Brothers and Sony, like from Prince to Mariah Carey to Whitney Houston to all of them. They had major deals, and they would record in these massive studios. It's changing. So that the way the music industry is a lot better because it gives people an outlet to do it, and they don't have to have a major deal, to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Do it for the love of the music.
Right.
Jonathan.
What's
Jonathan,
up? I'm here.
your turn, buddy.
What's up?
What is your biggest musical accomplishment to date?
Silence. I don't really have many musical accomplishments besides just the gratification I get from just playing and performing. I just like playing for people, and that's what makes me happy. So that's my accomplishment. I don't really have, I would think by now I would have at least an album of something, even from a band I was in. But I mean, I don't really have much to show, which is, I wish I had more to show. But I guess just me playing live for people, improvising, and just being in the now. That's I feel like that's my accomplishment. I mean, I'm still growing as a musician. I'm still young, not
Of
like young,
course.
like not like Billie Eilish, 18, whatever, Grammy award winning. But everyone's got their own path, and I'm just following mine.
Yeah, yeah. You've always walked to the beat of your own drum in this, like I just even like just over the years, Johnny, you should record more. Johnny, you should record more. But no, I understand. It is a feeling for you.
Yeah, right.
Like
Wow.
when we hang out, like I watch him, he'll take that hand pan out and like he's always done that though. Like that's his presence. He closes his eyes and he just starts playing what he's feeling, and what he feels like just matriculate or snowballs into it really snowballs into something like every time he picks it up. So yeah, shocked that you don't have an album. Shocked. So let's,
It's
let's get you
something that
recording, buddy. Let's get it.
that's
Do
part of my
it.
goal.
Do it. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, you should do it.
Quarantine's got talent. A lot of talent here.
Yeah, I mean, doing this with the new platform with Twitch, and just this new thing that I'm doing, trying to teach myself piano, keyboard, kind of make my own songs on the spot live. I feel like that's going to be more of the niche thing that I want to get into, and it's just in time I will have a bunch of material. I already since COVID started back in March, probably have 140 loops.
Okay.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
That's cool.
A good amount of them are potential, songs if I just organize them, structure them, put them into my DAW, and just made them into a song. I can definitely, the ideas are there, and that's why I do loops, because I'm getting my thoughts out on the table, and then I can organize them. I can change the levels, and if you allow me, at the end of the stream, I'll do a little something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And yeah, and then just kind of that's how I just do it. And then if something turns out to something that I'm like, okay, this has potential, I'll save it to my loop station, and then I'll revisit it at a later date. I've been saying that for a while, and 140 songs later, I don't have any full songs, but I mean, I could definitely like perform them, and if I go and bring them up to the computer upstairs and sit down and really take my time with them, I definitely can have some good quality songs. Tweaking the sounds, making it more clean. Because when you do it on here, it's not perfect because I'm not using like a quantizer, and a quantizer pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes everything in time. I'm not using a metronome when I do this. I'm using my internal metronome, so it's as good as I am. Which it gets very close. It's it's something that I'm working on, and hopefully sooner than later I'll have some songs to an EP or something I can release and kind of go from there.
Listening party.
Well,
Yeah,
can
as far
we
as
like
promotion goes, what's up?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, can we get that sample? Can we do me like little sesh before we get off? Because we're actually hitting we're pretty far in now. We're about an hour and 14 minutes in. So
Wow.
Yeah, and actually I'm supposed to start a stream at 9:00 tonight.
oh well, then there we go. So let's do a little sample for us, and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah.
If you want,
Victoria,
no
do you want
pressure.
a question? No, there's no pressure at all. This is part of what I got to do. I don't know, Victoria. Before we kind of do an outro song thing, I mean, is there anything else you want to ask me, or cover any topics?
You're the coolest musician I know. So take it with a grain of salt, and really, Jonathan, you need to record. Like I tell you this every time I see you.
They're recorded.
You need to record and post.
Yeah, he
Gets
does.
Nobody's asked
there.
For
Jesse.
sure.
Nobody's asked Jesse any questions. Jesse, you do music as well, right?
I do. I'm a music teacher, and I'm a classically trained musician.
Oh,
Oh wow. Do you play Beethoven?
Well, I don't play piano. Actually, I'm a brass player, so I play euphonium, which is like a baritone but
Oh,
nicer, essentially. And I played trumpet for a long time. So like you guys, like Victoria and you, Johnny, I played trumpet since middle
like
school.
Victoria.
I've been learning trombone a little bit when I go to work because we have trombones at my job, and I've played. I mean, the tuba is basically the same as the euphonium, except it's just bigger. But it's the same
That's
idea.
cool. Do you like
Cool.
New Orleans jazz? Because there's a lot of horn and jazz. My fiance is from New Orleans.
Yeah,
a
jazz
lot
is
of-
something I didn't get a chance to study that in school. Because like we had like a jazz class where you can learn about like chord progressions and like the style, and I ended up not taking that course just because it couldn't fit in my schedule, and I had too many credit hours already. But
Wow.
yeah, I enjoy it. I respect jazz. It's something I listen to, like, especially when I'm trying to focus or if I'm just trying to relax.
Yeah.
In general, but
That's cool.
so I do.
Yeah,
I
it's
do
fun
like
when
it a
you
lot.
go to New Orleans because when you're like walking around the French Quarter, you just hear all this like horns and jazz. It's really cool.
Yeah,
Really
New
cool.
Orleans is definitely a place I want to go. I haven't been able to go there yet, but I definitely want to make my way to New Orleans. So.
yeah, I've only been once
Yeah,
back in
you
2011.
love it.
Oh wow.
I have some technical questions if it's cool to ask real quick, Jesse.
Yeah, I'll do my best.
Pertaining more to your gear because I see your live stream quality. So first question is, what kind of camera do you use?
Oh, okay. Wait. I use a Lumix G7, which is it's a DSLR camera. And this was my project, right? Like the podcast was kind of the project I came up with, and then I told Victoria, and she was like, "Let's do it," and I'm like, "All right, sounds good." And so I started getting the hardware, right? And it started from streaming because I play video games and I wanted to stream. Like that was why I got the camera in the first place. But so I went to a camera hobby store in Orlando, and I just kind of asked questions like, hey, what kind of cameras can I connect to a computer? What kind of cables would I need to get? I researched a lot of research. A lot of research on Google.
I
Yeah.
use a DSLR as well. I don't know about the Lumix, but mine's a Canon SL2, which is pretty decent. I got it for a pretty good price. But I guess what more into the settings. Do you know how many frames per second you shoot at on your?
So
your
mine is 1080 and then 60 frames per second. So
you're shooting at 60. Okay.
Yeah, it can do 4K, but it would only be able to do 30 frames per second.
Okay.
But I wanted to go for the 60 frames and 1080. That's
Nice.
all it could do.
Mine does that too, and I did some research yesterday, and I don't know if this is right, but the guy I was watching said that 25 frames per second is better than 60 for shooting video. He said 6. I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out.
It depends on the purpose, and I looked a little into like why there's those options. 25 I think is common. Like 30 to 25 is common for movies. Like if you're doing like an actual film, they shoot in 25 or something like that.
So 60 would be better, kind of for what we're doing.
Yeah, 60. I use 60 for gaming because it's like, I mean, I'm not
Gotcha.
shooting a movie.
Okay, cool.
Like I could. I mean, but that's
I'm gonna shoot I'm my bad 60 then. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So it's like yeah, and TV shows too. I think they also shoot in like 25 or 30.
Yeah.
For their stuff. So.
Cool. And what kind of mic are you using?
The mic I'm using is a Yeti Nano. So Blue Yeti Nano. It's it's just the same as the Blue Yeti, just with less Polaroid patterns. Is that what the how like you can set your mics to be cardioid or whatever. This one only has 2, but I didn't need the other ones anyway because I'm not necessarily going to record instruments or music per se. I'm just using it for my voice.
Right.
and so
good.
I got it was cheaper. It was only $99, and but it has the same. Yeah, it has the same components like as the Blue Yeti, just with the less Polaroid patterns.
Yeah.
And so
it has a good bass on it.
Yeah, and that's the magic is right. The magic for that is voice meter. I'm like giving away all my secrets. Voice meter is it's a virtual mix board. So, and I could even show you guys if you maybe I can drag it over here onto. Can I? Let's see if it works. Yeah. So I'm gonna put it on your face on my stream here, and this is what I use to put my hardware inputs like my microphone. I put in some virtual inputs for my mix board. I have a virtual mix board, so when I play like the music or the applause,
Okay.
so you guys can hear that. Yeah, it's like having a hardware mix board, like an actual tangible one, but it's just on your computer instead.
Cool.
The only difference is I can't use analog, like I can't use an analog microphone. Obviously
Kinda
because
like
you can't. Yeah, you can't obviously plug an analog microphone into a.
It's XLR.
A
It's
PC
USB
or XLR. Yeah. So that's what I've got going.
Sweet.
With that said, I think it's time to get out because we are at 1 hour and 21 minutes and.
Cool. Let me just show you a little rundown of what I do here.
Yeah, show us. Yeah, I'm
Won't take up
interested.
Too much of
I'm
your
excited.
time. Kind of make a rundown of how I do it. Let's see. Hopefully, it's not a flop, right? Don't judge me on my musical skills.
He makes bangers, guys. He makes bangers.
I'm
No.
ready.
Now you're hyping me up. Don't be hyping me up like that, Victoria. All right.
He's too modest. He's too modest.
Yeah, she told me all about you. Remember it, Ashley?
Yo, he's super talented. Like, it blows my mind that he doesn't record.
Excited. Hey, Dougmore in the chat, everybody. There we go. In a minute. Can you guys hear it?
Yeah.
I hear a little bit.
I heard it a little, but not now. Oh, there we go.
It like goes in and out. Oh, there we go. Hey, Johnny, can you hear us still?
Yeah.
For some reason, we can't really hear the audio.
You can't hear the audio at all?
Yeah,
it's very, very soft.
All right, I'm going to turn my mic off and turn my output volume all the way up until... Just give me feedback on it and kind of give me an idea of where we're going with it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We can do that. Ooh.
There you go.
Do it again. No, went away again.
Trying to figure out, because I have my output here. What's going away? Like you hear it and then it drops?
Like when you hit the first note on your on the soundboard with the red, it was pretty loud. No, not on the keyboard, on the other one. The drum, yeah. Like that was pretty loud. Piano is soft. How about this? Why don't we
I have an idea. I found out. Let me try this real quick. Let's see if
yeah, for sure.
Do you hear that at all?
Yes.
Oh,
No.
that's... I'm wondering why it's going in and out. Because the impact of the note is loud, but then when you hold it, it like fades, it like instantly ducks.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm not really sure why, because it's all plugged in through the same thing that my mic is going through. So if you can hear me on my mic, you should technically be able to hear me.
How about this? I have an idea. What we're going to do, everybody in the chat and Twitch and people listening at home listening to the show, thank you very much for coming. We're going to raid. You said you're going out live at 9 o'clock, right?
Yeah, in 10 minutes. I just got to go set up the stream. Takes 5 minutes, get some water, and we'll be right on. It's Loopy
Yeah,
Juice.
go. How about we'll end it here, and what
Okay,
we're
cool.
gonna do is I'm gonna raid my chat, everyone who's in the chat, to your stream. That way you'll have an instant audience.
Perfect.
Cool.
I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
so I'll follow. Let me get you on Twitch real quick. That way I don't lose you.
Cool.
And then I will. I'll follow you. What is your? How about this? Hold on. There we go.
No,
Here we go.
I was talking in chat. I'm a Loopy Juice.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, cool. Good. Let me get the old outro here. This is what we usually play on the way out. So we're gonna ask some questions. Let's start with Amy, Miss Amy, in Zoom. Amy, where can we find you, and where can people look for your music and listen to you and see you promote yourself? Here's your 10 seconds of shameless plug.
I'm everywhere. Just Google Amy Barbera. Everything comes up. My website, www.amybarbera.com. I'm on Spotify, iTunes Music, Amazon. I'm on every social media outlet except TikTok. I'm not on there. But you just Google Amy Barbera and everything will come up. And YouTube, I have a YouTube channel, and so you can see my videos. So I'm pretty much everywhere as far as like the main, music streaming and everything.
Awesome. And what about you, Mr. Johnny Sir?
Yes, sir.
You can find me on Instagram on John the Juice, Twitch, Loopy Juice. I put it in the chat.
Awesome. And then of course, you can find myself. On all the social media that I have, IceT at IceT Kirby on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and the twitch.tv/IceT Kirby. And of course, we have Victoria, who is the wonderful co-host and the awesome person that she is.
Victoria, you need to do an album.
I'm waiting. I'm like Johnny. I'm just really modest about it. But you guys, thank you so much for being here. Like, it was such a pleasure to have you and, give us some more insight on what wonderful talents and abilities you have. Don't forget, as soon as we're done here, you're going to go on twitch.tv/loopyjuice. You're going to catch my good friend Johnny here looping some music here for a couple hours. Hey guys, don't forget, please, any and every donation you can make towards Cameron's GoFundMe for Gizmo will help Gizmo pass his nose cancer. So bit.ly/Gizmo cancer fight, and anything is going to help, guys. You can find me on social media, Instagram at do the Hippogriff with 2 P's and 2 F's. You can find me on Twitter at be a Hippogriff. And of course, you can always find me on Facebook at Victoria Sorrentino. Tonight's quote, everybody, when words fail, music speaks.
That's a good one. So simple, but so true. It's amazing. Thank you all. And I guess we'll see you all next week for IceT and the Hippogriff. See you later. We are clear. Woo! All right, chat. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do the thing that I said we're gonna do. We're gonna raid.
Amy, that was awesome. Over here.
Oh wait, we have to unmute her. Sorry, we muted you for a sec. My bad.
Yeah, will you send me the link to the dog? Yeah, I'd like to donate.
Absolutely.
And then send me where what link I can share, like on social media with our interview, like where you guys have it up.
Oh, absolutely. So we publish the episodes on Tuesdays. So by Tuesday, Jesse will have it posted and there'll be a link and I'll send it to you. I think this is one of those that we should totally post on YouTube. I think that would be really cool because you have a YouTube page. Johnny's got the YouTube
Put it on
page.
my YouTube channel. I'll put it on there. I
Yeah.
have it like in interviews. Like I actually have my YouTube set up with, and I have an interview section, so I'll put it like right in the front, kind of.
That's
Okay.
perfect. That is
So that's
absolutely
cool.
perfect.
Let me.
Yeah,
I have to go to the bathroom real bad. Hold
Does
on.
he edit it at all?
Yes, he does some
Good.
editing. So like the
Yeah,
parts where you
like-
cut out.
That's perfect. That's what I was gonna ask because if you edit at all, that's cool. Perfect.
Yeah, Jesse's the man.
Cool. Well, I had
Without-
fun. I had
Oof.
a lot of fun.
Thank you so much, Amy, for doing this. Like you were the first person I thought of. So really, like I am so happy and thankful that you did this. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm happy too. It was fun. Yeah.
Oh.
And I'll see you
Yay.
for your birthday. We celebrate. I know Ashley's we're trying to figure out because I'm not available next Saturday, so we're trying to figure out other dates. She said she was gonna talk to you, so let us know and then we'll take it from there.
Absolutely. We'll talk. We'll plan something
Now-
very soon.
But then with her hand, this just happened. So we were talking to her before this happened, so we don't know what's gonna happen.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. What do you like? What are your favorite things? Like I like butterflies. Like what?
I like the color pink. And I really like Harry Potter. Like my go-to is Harry Potter. Like if you've never,
I saw your picture. I just noted I liked your pictures today.
I love it. Like
That's
that's my obsession.
Cool. Pink and Harry Potter. That's perfect.
Yeah. I mean anything music related, Harry Potter. I'm like a hippie. So any of like that
Yeah.
hippie piece and everybody should
Yeah.
love each other type stuff. It's just like things like you, very inspirational, very uplifting. Amy, I lost you. Hello?
Cool. So now we have an idea. And you like the trumpet, obviously. So
Yes,
Hello?
my first one. It's my first instrument. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, I mean, look, we'll talk. We'll plan it out. Yeah, we got to keep in touch with her about her hand and this whole COVID situation.
yeah.
But we'll plan something. It'll be nice.
He was gonna talk to you about like planning something. So we'll figure it out.
We'll talk about it. I
In
mean,
the next couple weeks. Everything, you never know. We'll figure it out.
absolutely.
Hopefully, hopefully Roxy can come too, because it was so nice with all of us together. I like that.
I had a great time when it was just like this, just 5 of us, the 6 of us at the house. I had a really great time, to be honest with
I like
you.
that.
It was really refreshing just to be around a bunch of women.
Yeah. Yep, it's fun. Well,
No,
text me his link, the dog, and I'll donate tonight whenever you can. And then I'm excited. I'll share whenever you put it up next week. I'll share it everywhere.
Absolutely. I'll be getting that to you right away. Amy, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure.
Kirby, IceT Kirby, is he still there?
He took
I'm here. I am here.
Oh,
You
I'm
were
here.
great. Great. And the
that
other
was
guy
I think he signed out because he's going to get ready for the stream in a moment. But I had a great time. That was really, really inspiring and informative, and I had a great time. So, and I'm sure the audience had a great time as well.
You guys.
Oh yeah.
No, thank you, Amy. I love you. Be safe.
Have a nice evening. Take
You
care.
too.
Peace
Bye.
out.
Love you, girl. Bye-bye. Thank
Bye.
you. Kirby or IceT Kirby or whatever. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh.
Well, I want to raid Johnny's stream, but he needs to be live before we can do that. So, Victoria left. I'm by myself. All right. Well, that was good. Good stuff. Anyone else out there? Is anyone left? Or am I by myself in this? Oh, Victoria, you're still here? Okay. I don't even know if there's anyone left in chat to raid. To raid with. Hello. I can literally jam to our outro music and our rejoin music and all that music, literally, because it's good music. Moments where human-like problems. I know it's not just a human thing, but like it's sad when they get those kind of conditions. And when did the Wi-Fi go out here? Cool. So,
Oh man, I'm glad to be on here. It's exciting. I just started streaming this week on Twitch.
Wi-Fi go. That we are just sitting here looking at them, and I'm sure everyone in the chat wants to know this.
Oh my goodness. Well, this beautiful.
What about this?
Doing my own thing. So
What about this?
So I have two types of drum machines.
Well, here,
Sorry
that
about
explains
that.
it. It's okay. Oh, there we go. Where the Wi-Fi comes out, or is it far? Like, is it downstairs or something?
No, yeah, the router is out in the living room where TC's watching TV. I'm in the bedroom.
See, that's why. If you need to get closer to the router.
ID channel. I thought he was on Netflix.
Oh.
I don't know why it's doing that.
If we can fix this.
Come here. I'm telling him to come.
Is anyone in the house using Netflix? G or 5G?
To me, it sounds all the same, and she's so like when you hear Bjork, you know.
He's hacking into her screen.
We're losing her again.
Amy, we're losing you.
You know.
You know,
mm-hmm.
When you maintain your identity, it
like a huge friend original, you know, and it worked. And of course, music. I'm an '80s girl. Have that. To me, it sounds like Bjork. You know, that's Prince, and they have their own style and their own.
Hey, Ducky. I'm editing music or editing the audio.
True to their heart, to feeling, and their own style and their own feeling and their true.
Amy, we're losing you.
You know.
I do this.
Yeah, that's Prince, and they have their own style and their own.
Amy, we're losing you.
You know.
Somebody like a robot.
Johnny comes in with the robot voice.
He's hacking into her screen.
It's weird because my thing is on. I don't know why. Oh, yeah, it's saying it's okay. I don't know why it's doing that.
I guess this is happening in.
Weird because my. Oh, yeah, it's saying it's okay. I don't know why it's doing that.
I guess this is happening in waves.
Can you hear me now?
Nope.
Yeah.
No. Sort of. It's probably. It might just be your internet. It might just be your internet speed. Ebbing and flowing. Like.
Yeah, I wonder.
Oh, we don't want to lose you.
Like.
Yeah, I wonder.
Oh, we don't want to lose you.
To do. Can you hear? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Like.
Yeah, I wonder.
Oh, we don't want to lose you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
I can hear you. Jesse, can you hear her?
I can hear her now, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, Johnny probably hears you too. Hello?
Hello? Sorry about that. I don't know what.
Oh, man, that's all right.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, that means I can raid you now. I wonder why I can't choose your name. Oh, wait, maybe that is you. That is you. Oh. Yeah, no problem, Loopy. Yeah, I'm going to do my best to, I'm going to do my best to cut out as much of the Wi-Fi problems. That way it doesn't sound too distracting. Like,
Yeah, I wonder.
Oh, we
I
don't
don't
want to
know
lose
what
you.
to do. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Coming in.
Hello?
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 Coming in.
Hello? Sorry
Dude.
about that. I don't know what.
it's all right.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Now, was that him? Is he on?
Oh, geez, what's going on?
Does Amy have...
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Jesse, can you hear her?
I can hear her now, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Johnny probably hears you too. Hello?
Coming in.
Hello? Sorry
Dude.
about that. I don't know what.
It's all right.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Now, was that him? Is he on?
Oh, geez,
Does
hello.
Now, was that him? Is he on?
Oh, geez, what's going on?
Does Amy have good Amy, do you have good phone data or a good phone service? Phone service?
You mean from? Well, I'm not on the phone. I'm on my regular laptop.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I don't.
do you happen to have like 4G or 5G?
You know, on my phone. Well, my
Or 5G?
on my phone. Well, my phone's pretty old.
Oh. Yeah, never mind. I was saying I figured if you had maybe an iPhone you can get Zoom on the iPhone and then try it from there because it sounds like it says your bandwidth is low, which means your internet isn't letting a lot of traffic go through fast or easily. Is anyone in the house using Netflix? Because that could do it too.
Yeah,
If
I
someone's
wonder
on
why
Netflix.
that. Oh, it might be It might be TC.
Tell him. He needs to take a break.
TC, come here. I'm telling him to come. Yeah, he does have Netflix.
Internet connection.
Oh, he's watching the ID channel. He watches a lot of Netflix.
Yeah, you're a little better now.
Well, no, it's
Hello.
not. You're fine where you're sitting. It's the
That's probably
hiccup
what
in
it is.
Well,
Hello.
Well, no, it's
hello.
not. You're fine where you're sitting. It's the laptop being. Is it close to the internet router where the Wi-Fi comes out, or?
I had a thought.
So how about this, Johnny? What's going on in your life, man? What have you for the internet to go bad when you're answering?
I didn't realize. Sorry about that.
It's okay. How about let's not you're fine where you're sitting. It's the laptop being. Is it close to the internet router where the Wi-Fi comes out, or is it far? Like, is it downstairs or something? How about
Hello.
or
That's probably
hiccup
what
in-
it is. That's what it is.
That might be what it is. That might be where we're.
That's probably what
hiccuping.
it is.
How about how about we flip flop, because maybe if we lessen the amount of answer time per person. answer time per person, there's less of a chance for the internet to go bad when you're answering. Haha.
Okay.
Yes.
I feel like I'm that meme who's pointing at his head.
I had a thought.
So how about this, Johnny? What's going on in your life, man? What have you? I'm saving that. Editing.
You can definitely just.
It's cool how and some stuff. If there's anything I want to like take out or if it awkward moments or something, I can cut some stuff out or slice some stuff out.
Yeah.
And it's just cool because I did this literally because of COVID-19. Like I got quarantined and I was in my house and I was like, what can I do? Like what's like what kind of hobby can I try?
Right. No, it's good. It's pushed me in a way that it was kind of a bad thing turned out to be a really good thing, because now I'm doing something I kind of pushed off for a long time, and I think a little too long, but I guess better late than never. And I'm really happy that I'm just out here and just doing it, even if I'm just doing it for practice. I'll stream it if people want to come and hang out. Cool. And
that's awesome.
It's just beginning. This is just the beginning. And sky's
Okay. All right. Well, I'm happy to have you here. So when it comes to like making these loops and like making these beats, like 'cause, sometimes we'll hang out and you're just making them. You're just making them and going and going and going. When you're doing something from scratch, like do you make all your songs like that, or do you just kind
Yeah.
of find yourself like outside sometimes just going, that would sound really
Um,
cool?
Yeah, so it's kind of both ways. When I go to make something, I clear my head. I don't really come in. Sometimes I'll it's kind of weird, but I get my most inspiration. And that one I'm never gonna sell. Music,
You hear
not
that,
for
ladies? Take
Very
notes,
rare.
gentlemen.
for music.
The song that really touches people. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can
Hello?
hear you. Hello,
can
we
hear
hear
me?
you. We hear you.
Hello? Oh, you
Hi.
good? Because it was saying it was unstable. That the little thing came up, and people were touched by that song. I guess because they can relate. Because I'm talking about the transformation. Just people. Can you hear me? The song that really touches people. Can you hear me? Because they can relate. Because I'm talking that really touches people. Because they can relate. Because I'm talking about the transformation. Kind of the main, because they can relate, because I'm talking about the transformation of what you're going through in the cocoon as to a butterfly. So a lot of people the song that really touches people, and people are touched by that song, I guess because they can relate, because I'm talking about the kind of the main, because they can relate, because I'm talking about the transformation. That's kind of the main, because they can relate, because I'm talking about the transformation of what certain songs like God special. I can't wait for sweet, because it's not normally my, but I had the best time working on that song, and it was pretty easy to record. Best time, and it was pretty easy to record, and I worked with a boy like Genius. I worked with a boy like Genius. She was born with perfect pitch. She sat at her grand piano with a boy like Genius. She was born with the boy like Genius. She sat at her grand piano. I sang it. She's like, and she's in a professional band. She's from England. We tried to keep it as close to that feeling.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I noticed, songs from like
you gotta sing like you're like, and I've she sat at her grand piano. He's retired, and
Absolutely, yeah. And I noticed,
and of course I don't drink at all. A-lister. I picked three videos. Wish I could have gone because they did a fan base. But yeah, I mean, I have. But yeah, I mean, I have a fan base. I but yeah, I mean, a fan base in England because I've been on the internet. I've been space like this isn't something I've been doing. I have a COVID, so but yeah, I mean, on the internet, I've been doing this since MySpace. Like this is, but yeah, I mean, this since MySpace. Like this isn't something I've been
wow,
on. I started on MySpace, and I have. But yeah, I mean, I've been
wow,
on. I started on MySpace, and I have people from. Started on MySpace, and I have people. I've been
wow,
on. I started on MySpace, and I have. Yeah, I mean, I've been
wow,
on. I started on. Started on MySpace, and I started on MySpace, and I. I started on MySpace. I've been
wow,
on. I started on MySpace, and I. I've been
wow,
on. I started on MySpace, and I started on MySpace, and I have. I've been
wow,
started on MySpace, and I have people. I've been
wow,
on. I started on MySpace, and I have people from. I started on my. I started on. I started on my. I started on. I started on my. I started on. I started on MySpace. I started on. I started on MySpace. I started on MySpace, and I have. I mean, I started on MySpace. I mean, I started on MySpace, and I have people from my, like Janet Ann Wynn from England and Darcy from Canada. I wasn't able to go there. I wish I could. At that time, I was working. I take care of my mom now, but I was working another job, and they, to plan a trip like that. I wish I could have gone because they did, and this is before COVID, so it
no,
opens a whole
absolutely.
new door for music artists.
Absolutely. The world is such a large place. And, like where we are in Florida, it's like this is a melting pot of diversity for people, and they bring in their own culture and their own ideas. So imagine like what other musical influences they can bring to the table. So
Yeah.
when you put yourself out there for the Canes Festival in France, have you noticed that like your fan base in these other countries are growing now?
Well, yeah, that was a weird thing because they had saw that I was picked for the International Christian, and they started following me on Instagram, and I said, "Well, I'll submit it to that."
Hmm.
They weren't part of the big Canes because Canes is the larger, or Cannes, I don't know how they. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Is
Yeah,
the
we can.
largest film festival in the world. All the big name A-lister films and everything. So they're kind of like a smaller division of Cannes, and so I was shocked when they picked me as a semifinalist. They only picked three semifinalists. I can't remember. If you go on their site, you'll see Amy Barbera, Make Me a Butterfly. I wasn't able to go there. I wish I could.
No, absolutely.
To keep it going. So that's why the film Freeway thing came, because I had released that in 2018. And I said, well, how can I get this out here more? And then that's how it, you think of ways to get it out there, and then it works, and it opens a whole new door for music artists.
Absolutely. The world is such a large place, and
genre, and I have a music video that goes with the song that we shot. I have photos, and because of COVID, I was going to release it this year. When I release something, I like to do it the right way. I usually have, I've had 2 CD release parties, which Ashley's been to both of them. Yeah. And I want to do a small sweet pea release kind of with my engagement, and then do the release online. And so because of COVID, I've waited, and I'm kind of waiting, because I don't like to just throw things out there. It's hard. It's hard enough as an independent artist, and you have to kind of. It's nostalgic, and it's an original, and it's actually a love song that I wrote for my fiance, and I'm singing in that Ella Fitzgerald style. So
absolutely, yeah. And I noticed, song. Let me so.
Well, definitely Make Me a Butterfly. That's kind of, I mean, I have so many other songs, but that's kind of the main, because they can relate, because I'm talking about the transformation of what you're going through in the cocoonist when somebody passes away. And Paint Me a Rainbow is kind of a fun dance. I can't wait for Sweet Pea, because that one's 1940s nostalgic, and it's an original, because it's not normally but I had the best time, and it was pretty easy to record. And I worked with a boy retired, and he believes in, doing we did it exactly how they would do it, like in the 40s. They didn't have,
they record,
it's like with, you have to think of creative ways to keep it going, even behind the scenes, where maybe and she had me do, like, during my voice lesson, she had me do like a vision board years ago, never released. Love that nostalgia. You don't see that too much. You know what I mean? Love the Curtisian.
Turn on, like, what is it here? Like 96.9, not 96.9, whatever our rock station. There's communities for it, It's not like the booty dancing kind of party, but it's
shake
more
your ass and pray to God it bounces.
Yeah, it's not. You can still party and
more of a, like, just basic pop.
It's all about. Let's do it.
Let's roll on to the next one. Appreciate all you guys. Slap like follow. Blah, blah, blah. Cool. That was a fun one. Let's.
Every social media outlet except TikTok, I'm not on there. But you just Google
Plugged in through the same thing that my mic is going through, and we'll be right.
Amy Barbera.
And see you promote yourself. Here's your later.
Some general talk about music, what we're doing, some questions. Definitely go check out his channel, send him a follow as well. Check out that stream. All right. Looks like. All right. Let's do a little something.